when I talked to Title IX, they said that they stood by their decision and that he has every right to be back on campus despite, not being a student and being found guilty of sexual assault.
Classically, Title IX started out originally as a way for universities to prevent sexism. It actually started to prevent sexism in university-level sports. It has evolved over the years to somehow be this quasi-legal system that the worst they can do is kick somebody out of school, which I think we can both agree for a rapist is not justice. That's not a punishment that's fitting of the crime.
Lately, it has been pretty rough, especially with graduation coming up here at GW. He's able to come back. He's able to be on campus. I tried to get him barred. He's not able to get barred though because he's on that alumni status, and I didn't report when he was still a student. So my first round of actually doing any form of interview and being asked questions on anything was with the GWPD. After a week of communication, there was nothing. The person that I was working with, he's gone now. There's no email with him anymore. So when I tried to reach out with him, even this semester, the email didn't go through because he's no longer there. Also, the Title IX person that I was working with, she's also not working with Title IX. So those two contacts are gone. So I'm okay, I'm just gonna contact the actual Title IX coordinator and just ask what's up with all of that? Where did they go? What happened? She never responded to my emails. Again, I feel like I had this pressure on me to be that person that protects everyone, but I failed in that manner. And when all these other failures happened with the first attempt at barring and the police not doing anything with my case, I felt it's a disappointment not just for me, but all these other people that he hurt. It's the fact that I found out that another student at this campus tried to get the barring process done, but her assailants showed up because the barring process didn't go through. And he's also not technically a student anymore, and he's able to come back like that.
The eventual sanction was only 1 semester suspension, plus he had to watch a TED Talk on consent and write a little paragraph on it and go to therapy once, which is ridiculous. I went through the appeals process and nothing came of it. I made a petition about a year ago that got a few thousand signatures, and GW still did nothing. And then there was one from 2017, and GW did nothing there. And of course, this is a problem nationally, but GW in particular has this pattern of negligence, and not even negligence, it's almost willful ignorance where they're actively doing what they can to protect the opposing party. And I don't know what that's rooted in or what they're getting out of it, but it's got to stop. I'm exhausted, and I think that there's some pretty easy steps to take. If somebody is found guilty of sexual assault or rape, it seems like a no-brainer to maybe ban them from campus and expel them. Otherwise, the asterisk that goes on their transcript saying that they got suspended or expelled, it's never explained, so it's essential to write, suspended for sexual assault, because it's important to know that these people are predators moving forward.
At the end of the year, when we go to publish our annual crime stats, the Title IX office will just send an email over saying, hey, we dealt with 27 sexual assaults, and you don't know anything about it because we didn't tell you anything about it because we can't, but there's 27 of them, so add them to your crime stats. Well, we just went from 6, which is still a terrible number. 6 people were sexually assaulted on campus. Now we just learned that there were 27 others that never got any sort of police assistance that potentially could have been investigated and put away. They're not a law enforcement body. They have no powers of arrest. They can't subpoena you. They can't force you to appear. It is entirely a civil action where the school itself can compel you to come just by saying, if you don't, we'll kick you out. But other than that, they can't send agents to come get you. It can't handcuff you. It can't force you to appear or anything like that. It can't issue a warrant for your arrest. It is not an investigative body. The investigators they hire are typically not trained in any sort of evidence collection, in any sort of again, law enforcement manner. They don't really know how to question people efficiently. Title IX offices don't really communicate with other Title IX offices at other universities. So there's usually the potential for someone that literally raped someone. If it only went through the Title IX system, they can just go to another college right down the street.
This feeling of where I feel like I can't even leave my dorm without just thinking he can possibly be outside at any moment. that's pretty alarming for me, like knowing that that's a possibility.
I've been missing so many classes just because I can't be in these academic settings now that he's, you know, back on campus and in these buildings and auditioning for student orgs. Like, I'm terrified, especially given like the power that his family has and GW's refusal to do anything.